going on, guys? We are live. Give some time for folks to join. I see some folks coming on now. If you're here, drop a comment. Let me know who you are. Sitting here working on some fire craw, my version of fire craw, holographic lava craw for springtime. It's right around the corner. So see some folks watching. I should be able to see your comments, so drop a comment over there. Let me know you can hear me okay. Hello, Mr. J.R. Good evening, sir. I have a delay as well, so I figured as long as I'm waiting, get this show on the road, I'll tie up some holographic lava craw swim jigs for a bait box coming up in the spring. Glad you guys are joining me. This could be a hot mess tonight. I'm just warning you. Absolute hot mess. So you're getting the raw Adam Felder SDG tonight. I need a co-host too. I think Kuda's got something going on. Hey guys, I see you, Brian, Jeff, Ted. Welcome, gentlemen. I think Kuda's got the right thing going. He's got Epic Eric in there bringing all kinds of energy and all kinds of craziness. Just me and the Vice. So if somebody would, it'd be awesome. Let me know that you can hear me okay. I've got some equipment on the way, but it is not here. Hey, there he is. What's going on, Kuda? Jig Squad in the house. Here, you guys want to see what I'm doing? Let me see if I can figure out StreamYard. Oh, look at that. Uh-huh. Yep, tell me. Good. Thank you, Jeff. You have to tell me what view you guys like the best. Got some different stuff planned for this evening, but we are definitely going to make a jig together as one of them. So loud and clear. Awesome. Thank you. 15. Well, we have surpassed what I thought would show. I figured if I could get 10, I'd be doing well. Let's see. You guys ready for spring? Holy cow. Let's see. This is not what's on the docket tonight, but when you don't have anything to do and you're a little bored waiting for this to start, you tie a dang jig. You know what I'm saying? Should have left that in beforehand. I gotta piece it all out. Finish this up. Give folks just a few more minutes to join us, and then we will get rolling on the stuff that was planned for the evening. Yeah, you ain't kidding, Josh. Man, you ain't kidding. Can't get 70 degrees fast enough. So I think I did all that before I put thread sealant on it. So pull that back for a second. There we go. All right. Freezing cold. So plan for tonight. I've got some new material that I want to show you guys. It's actually not from Barlow's. It's going to be some stuff from Barlow's. Some silicone we're going to use tonight on the jig, but predominantly I want to tell you guys about a new natural material source. So super cheap. You get a just a crap ton of stuff, and it's really awesome, which we're going to use tonight. I'm going to go through a brief update on SDG. I wanted to share with you guys. There's a lot, everything I do in this channel, you know, I'm passionate about and I'm excited about. So I want to share it with you guys when I do. So that turned out all right. There she is. I think I'll get bit in the spring. Got some red, bright red with some burnt red, holographic flashaboo, holographic copper flashaboo, and then an orange belly. Love this head. That's a red bug head with gold eyes. Good stuff. All right, let me get this crap out of the way, and we will jump in to what I had set aside. All right, let me switch over. There we go. So, welcome everybody. I see 22, 23. That's awesome. Glad you're with me for the first endeavor into live streams on SDG. So, I hope to do a lot more of these. Like I mentioned, for those that weren't here at the beginning, I got some new equipment on the way that will hopefully take it up a notch. My webcam and things like that's pretty, so we'll see what we can do about that. But I want to start it out by showing you guys some stuff. So I've got a whole tote, right? You see what's in there? This entire tote, I would say $50 or less. This entire tote, right? Inside of here, I've got natural rabbit hides in various colors. There's a nice white one. Okay, pre-cut. I cut all my own zonkers because I like the wider. You can buy Magnum, which is a 1/4 inch. So I like them to be a little bit wider for our applications. Big bass, big teeth. Needs to be a little bit more durable. So I like to cut my own. Check out this one. It's a nice color there, right? And then I think they came in a 5-pack. There's a nice one here. So that's just the rabbit, right? On top of that, this guy has a muskrat pelt in it, as well as a beaver strip. This beaver strip is going to be sweet because I can cut it cross-cut, right, and use it as a cross-cut zonker. But look at the guard hairs on it. How long those guard hairs are, and then it's got this real thick under fur as well. So we can cut it long ways like this, cross-cut, wrap it, make some sweet stuff with this. Can't wait for that, to use that. Outside of that, now this is where we get into the meat and potatoes. Those were kind of extras. Outside of that, I have got literally, I have got fur by the pound. I'll show you. I'm gonna pull up a video here. I made some quick little videos just without any sound or anything, but show you the website where I got all this stuff. You buy this hair, this fur by the pound, okay? And you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like a total grab bag, right? So this is what I think is red fox. It's beautiful. We're gonna use some of this tonight. I've got long hair fox on this one. I've got a whole bag of coyote, or what I think is coyote. And then I got a whole bag of skunk as well. White and black skunk. It's fantastic. Oh, and possum. I got some possum too. So that's just the trimmings. That's the hair. On top of that, let's put this on the floor. On top of that, check this out. See that? It's a whole box. It's a whole bin of tails. You can even see, there we go. I hung 2 of them up, 3 of them up that I thought were really cool looking, right? But whole bin And they consider these, you'll see it in a minute, but they consider these seconds. So they're secondhand quality because the guys that are using this stuff are using it for hats and for coats and keychains and stuff like that. So when they come across, like, here's a good example, when they come across a tail that's not good enough to make a piece of nice clothing out of, they consider this a second. They throw a bunch of them together and you buy it for pennies on the dollar and you get a crap ton of it. So I got stuff in here for days and days and days. If you don't want to go this route and get the second stuff, which they actually market for fly tires, jig tires, things like that, you could buy the really nice ones and just buy one at a time. And even that, they're not very expensive. So all of this stuff came from a website. No affiliation with me. I just think it's awesome. This was all Christmas, by the way. This was my Christmas present. I literally had a list of various rabbit fur and whatnot that I said I would like to have fox hair, please, for Christmas. So I got a whole box of goodies, and I want to show you what this website looks like. So let me see if I can work this magic. Oh, look at this. Look at me. Oh, holy crap. How about this guy? He must know what the heck he's doing. All right, here it is. So this is Glacier Wear. So there you go, right there. glacierwear.com. All one word. So they make, like I said, they make fuzzy hats and pelts, and here you can see. So fur pelts and hides and buckskins. There you go, all the hats. But inside of here, there's a section for fur trimmings and seconds. So right there, that's coyote tail seconds. Check the price on this guy when I click into it. Look at that. It's $1, $1 per tail, or you can get 10 tails for $9.50. It's sick, and it's more stuff than we could ever use, right? Yeah, Josh, you're right. I mean, Fox makes perfect crappie jigs, crappie tails. I mean, for the whole body you can do. Look at these natural colors right here, guys. Look at this stuff, like silver fox. I mean, all these natural things. And then if you go, you can click down a little bit further. You can find the trimmings. So this is where you'll see assorted fur trimmings and scraps. So they make, so yeah, they make the coats and the whatnots, and they have all of these edges, right? Like this is some red fox that we're going to use tonight. So they got all these edges, and on the back of that stuff, you'll often see the blue Sharpie that the lady that cuts this stuff out with was using it. So after she gets done with it, she's got piles of this stuff, right? And she puts it into an assortment, and you literally, I think it says there, it could be coyote, fox, beaver, any number of things. And right there, I'm going to highlight it. They sell it by the pound for $15. And this, I mean, it's not very heavy. So you get a ton for 15 bucks. So I cut my Zonker strips, Daniel. I actually made a little table that stretches the hides, and then actually there's 2 videos on the channel that you can go check this out. But I made a little cutting unit that has multiple razor blades spaced about a 1/4 inch apart, and then I've got one that's got 2 or 3. I've got one that's got, like, I think 6, and then I've got one that's got 8. So you can actually put it on the hide once you stretch it real tight and it's taut everywhere. You put that razor blade unit right down on it and just lightly pull down, and you'll cut just the hide. And you can have, put as many. The unit you'll see on that video, it's got multiple nuts right in between each blade, and that tells you how wide Zonker strip you want. So you can make them real thin, or you can make them real thick, however you want. I usually score it with that so I can see the lines, and then I'll take an X-Acto knife or a precision razor blade, and then just go right down. Of course, I'm kind of anal. I mean, big surprise, right? But I'm kind of anal, and I just go down real lightly because I don't want to cut the hair. If you punch it through and you just rip it, then you sacrifice some of the hair stuff. It gets loose, so then it doesn't cut straight, right? You really want to be able to. Yeah, it wasn't my idea, Josh, for that cutter. I got it from somebody else. But and it's like, medieval. If you look at it, it's like freaking medieval stuff. So anyway, actually, you know what? I think I got it right here. Yeah, here it is right here. We'll call an audible. So right there. Oh, hold on a second. Make me big. There we go. So that's the razor blade. It's just to unscrew, right? I got two bolts in between, and you just put it in between, and then you can. So that's the one that cuts two at a time, right? One and two. Three razor blades will cut two, and then that's kind of the finishing tool. Then you can go one step bigger, right? How many is that? That'll cut one, two, time. That's kind of utility. Same idea. And then I don't use this one as often. Theoretically, it would be pretty cool to use, but that's the big one, right? You can cut. So I would stretch those rabbets out in particular, and very carefully hold on to the edge, pop it down just enough to score it, and then just kind of lightly pull down so it scores. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? Glad you could make it. So it scores the hide, and then I'll come back through with a X-Acto razor blade and finish the job. So very cool. And of course, it's all customizable, right? You can make however big or however thin zonker strips you want. So let me go back to where we were. All right, yeah. So I don't know that I would do that so much with the trimmings. That's longer fur. You probably could if you wanted to. But this is where I think I'm showing you. Yeah, look at all these colors. I mean, the silver fox is gorgeous, and it's all natural. And then you get down into the dyed stuff here as well. And then you can even go down. I'm going to click on this foxtail assortments. $4, and you can get any number of second quality foxtails. So I mean, it's just super cool stuff, guys. It really is. I've got more natural materials, and there's so much more out there that I haven't even scratched the surface of yet. So I don't know if I have anything else on there. That might be it. Yeah, that was it. Cool. So once again, that is glacierwear.com. Super cheap. Spend what, 25, 30, $50, and you're going to have tails and fur and hides and whatnot for like all year at least. And that's if you make a whole crap ton of this stuff. So pretty awesome. The king of jigs here. Here we go. That's my buddy from Spain. How you doing? So anything to line up the cut. How long did it take you to learn how to safely hold that thing? Yeah, probably longer than it should have. I'm not the sharpest tool in the razor blade bin. Anything to line up the cut? Well, not really. I mean, the unit that I custom made out of this is set up so that it holds all four corners in a perfect square. So you can kind of eyeball the cut as you go in relation to the edge. What I have found when I'm doing it though is that you can't punch all the way through, because the second you punch all the way through, the tautness of the hide, which allows you to cut it straight, you lose it and it starts sagging. And then as you try to continue to make that, if you try to continue to make the cut, you'll end up cutting a piece prematurely all the way through. So just like everything else, right? You just got to play with it. But so that is Glacier Wear. You guys are going to see a lot more natural materials like that. I've been sitting on that one since, since Christmas. I do have, like I said, some stuff hanging up on the wall there. So I'm excited to use it into the future. And like I mentioned, we're going to use it a couple times tonight. So pretty sweet. So the next thing I wanted to get through, I wanted to give you guys an update on SDG. But before I do that, my heart to yours, right? This is just my moment for you. It's just been something that's been on my mind lately. As the channel grows, there's this, I have this growing fear maybe, or I don't know, more exposure for the channel. There's a group of guys, maybe not a group, but there's definitely a school of thought out there that guys that are on YouTube are oftentimes just doing it to make a buck, to take advantage of folks, to sideline kind of a side hustle or something like that. So I've been somewhat resistant to putting a lot of SDG stuff out there about like what I sell and things of that nature, because my heart to yours, all right, this is honest to God who I am. I do this because I'm passionate about it. And the stuff that I share with you guys, I share with you because I'm excited about it. So if I got a new jig idea, I want to share that with you because I'm excited about it. If I found a new Glacier Wear, I want to share it with you guys because I'm excited about it. And that extends now into the business side because I'm excited about what I kind of where I want to go with it. And I want to share it with you because I consider you guys friends. You're my buds. I'm pumped about it. So I want to show you kind of the revamped website and where we're headed. Not because I want to sell you anything. I got a day job, keeps me extremely busy, right? But because hey, it's cool and I'm excited. So anyway, that's my soapbox. I'm gonna step down off of it now. Please receive this not as me. You're never gonna get a sales pitch at SDG, but hey man, I'm excited about it, so I want to share it with you. So let me show you the latest stuff at the website. All right. So if you've never been to the website, I encourage you to go check it out. Dream it, tie it, fish it. There's a little blurb there about YouTube. That one is at the bottom of the website, and it basically explains a little bit more of my heart, right? I'm all about trying to find innovative designs that meld uh, traditional bass tackle, conventional bass equipment, big jigs, stuff like that, with natural materials, fly fishing techniques, and doing that to bless other people, right? So that's kind of the bottom of that. Let's see. So this is the about section. Look at that beautiful man. Actually, it's a beautiful family. I kind of mess up that picture. And I don't even have a yak anymore. I don't even have a kayak anymore. But that's the about section. You guys know I'm an affiliate with Hog Salad Bait Molds. They make some good stuff. He's just getting started, so there's not a ton out there. The H craw, that's a dandy of a craw. So that is a brief deal on it. Super excited about this page. So I've been doing this now for a while, and I've collected all these pictures. It's like a gallery. I love looking at this because it just takes me back of all the stuff that I've designed or made for other people, or I don't know, put on the channel, or all of that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty psyched about that page. That's just the pics. A little taste of what's possible. Pretty sweet. Actually, that's what we're gonna make that one tonight. And then, so this guy is the shop. So I'm pumped about the shop. If you have been to the website before, it would have looked like a typical custom bait shop, like a tackle warehouse, right? So if you want a crawl, here's the crawls that I make in the colors that I do. If you want a jig, here's the hybrid Z jig. If you want a chatterbait, here's my bladed frenzies, blah, blah, blah. I want 3 of those, 2 of those, 5 of those, and be done. And then you would check out. That was cool and all. Um, but I like the creative side of this more than anything else. I think that's why I like to do YouTube. So I like to create stuff, try new things, and once you get through the creative aspect, it kind of runs the risk of turning into a grind, right? You spend all this awesome time creating something awesome, and then you just recreate it, right? You just rinse and repeat. So I found that while that was kind of cool, it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. So I changed directions at the start of this year, and what we're doing now is box sets. So everything, or custom packages, not everything's in a box, but a lot of box sets that keeps it fresh. That's the best way I can think of it. It keeps it fresh, right? It helps me just, what do I feel like making? I feel like sitting down and tying up 6 woolly buggers in some really cool designs, and then I'll put that bait package or that box set out on the website, and folks can buy it. And you may never see it again. If I get a hankering to do that again, I'll do it again. If not, I might not. So it keeps it fresh. I'm obviously not in this for the money. I'd be a poor man if I was. So that's kind of what you're going to see here. So all custom, 100% custom box sets, bait packages. I got it worked out so there's free shipping for everybody. You get a bonus pack of 8 stick baits with every order, and everything's already made, so it ships out in 48 hours or less. So this is some of the stuff that's been out there here recently. I'll do clearance for like remelt. That's a remelt clearance. It's sold the same day, and some other paraphernalia. So that's kind of cool. And then I actually redid my merchandise, and this is my favorite logo. I had a bunch, but I love this one because it's got the SDG custom lure craft Soli Deo Gloria, right? Soli Deo Gloria is SDG, but in the middle, a mayfly is on one side and a jig is on the other. And I call this one like the fusion, right? The SDG fusion, because it's made to the point is I want to fuse the bass traditional world with the fly fishing techniques and materials world. So I think that kind of captures everything in one deal. And somebody actually asked me about a hat. That wasn't me putting it on there just for giggles, but somebody actually asked me if I had hats available. So that's the deal. I'm super pumped about it. I love the creative outlet that it offers, and yeah, so that's where the website's going. And then arguably the most important page on the website, and for sure the most important video on the channel. If you have not seen this video, I link it at the end of every video, and you got to go watch it. I look a little younger back then. I recorded it at my parents' little baby pond. We call it GPP, Grandma Papaw Pond, down at the bottom of their property. And it explains what SDG is, why do I call the channel SDG, um, and what my heart is about it. So anyway, that's the website. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on a dedicated video to go through that, but definitely wanted to share it with you because, like I said, I'm excited about it. So let me go back through the comments here and make sure that I didn't miss anything. You guys are lighting up the comments. I love it. New to the page, really enjoy videos, especially. Well, here I can actually show that one. I'm learning this whole StreamYard deal here. So new to the page, really enjoy videos, especially enjoy the one about the name of your company. Yeah, man, awesome. God bless you. That's sweet. Any wire brushing brushes on the radar? Stay tuned, my brother. Stay tuned. Tonight, you'll be very happy. Oh man, Palomino. He wants me to try to tie up some of this fly fishing stuff that looks like a mouse. So bad. I don't know. He's got skills I don't have. Let's see here. Let's see. That's why I get my stuff from you. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it, brother. That's awesome. Appreciate that, Scott. Think. Love your ideas and color matching. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that, man. Hey, I was just watching Small Jaw right before here. He just tied up a little TMI crawl. You guys should go watch that one. So, all right. So, where are we going tonight? It's time to make a jig, right? It's half hour into this thing. Let's make a jig together. I don't know what these live streams are going to be like in the future, but but I'd love to have some guests maybe in the future. And I imagine we'll probably always make something. I mean, that's kind of what we do here. So, we are going to tie up this guy right there. So you can see he's got some natural fibers in there. He's also got a new craw. I'll show you that in a second. But that is on a ball head. So let me go through what all is in this guy, and then I have yet a third video to show you about how we made one critical piece of it. So here's the ball head mold. This is the round head model JRS 5A. So JRS 5A round head. It makes everywhere from a 5/8 to 1/8 size. Just a standard. It does have a lead keeper in it. I'm using victory hooks in this guy. These are 10-635s. That's a 4/0 in the ½ ounce, which is what I poured here. So that's the mold. The paint color is new. Let's see if we can get that on there. It's going to show up. Maybe. I need Eric's magnifying glass. It's not doing it justice. So this is not Protect. This is Boss paint from Fishing Skirts. It is called Pale Ale. I wanted a new brown that had some character to it instead of just plain brown. So it's brown with black speckles all through it. So that's what we got here. Put that in the vise. I went ahead and clipped the lead keeper off the bottom because we're not going to need it tonight. So what else is on this bad boy? So we're going to put in a keeper, a little wire keeper. That guy right there. You can mold this in. I hardly ever mold this in because I like to tie them in more. So I'm going to take the curved end, just kind of pinch that right there. And I'm going to take a pair of angle cutters right there at my fingers and just snip that off. And what I end up with is something about yay big, right? And that will be our bait keeper, wire keeper. You can make these too if you want. I'll probably end up, yeah, I'm going to do the double camera. You can actually make these with wire on your own. So then from there, we are going to put in a wire dubbing brush. I'm gonna show you the video of where I made this guy, what I used to make it, and I'll walk you through that. I couldn't figure out how to do that here, like because the camera angles and all that. But I'm gonna show you a video of how we made that. So that's gonna go in. We've got a little bit of silicone going in. This is a cool silicone. You see that purple just pop through? Sweet stuff. So this is from Barlow's. It is metallic foil. So this is brown with purple foil. Really cool. So we're going to use 6 strands of this on either side. So that's that. And then look at how beautiful this is. I mean, shut up, right? This stuff, nice long fibers, absolutely gorgeous, good stuff. So that's going to go on. This is, I believe it's Red Fox. We're going to finish it with natural fur dubbing. So you see this guy here. There you go. natural fur. I use this on the channel one at a time. It's got coyote, camel, possum, squirrel, various kinds of squirrel actually. Some hare's ear, some hare's mask in various colors, muskrat, beaver, and mink. How about that? So really cool dubbing mix. We're going to use the coyote on the end. And then lastly, I got a new soft plastic that we're going to put on this guy. I was excited and looking for a profile craw. So the market, in my opinion, is overrun with flapping style craws, ecto craw. I mean, even big box stuff, but those that make it, Fat Guys Fishing makes a bunch of them. So there's not a whole lot out there from a profile. There's the Do It eye craw, and then the closest other one that I could find, maybe you guys know of another one, is this guy right here. That is the Fat Guys Fishing Deadeye. So it's got a flat bottom. Fat Guys Fishing Deadeye craw. They make it in multiple sizes. I got the 3.5 because I was looking to make some finesse jigs out of it. But I wanted something cold water that wasn't going to be flapping and making a commotion. I wanted something post frontal. I wanted something profile more than movement. So something with claws that looked more realistic to sit. So that's what you get. This is the mold. So that's the mold you shoot it out of. Obviously that's the top. And then that's the bottom. So turns out pretty good. I will say that the mold makes it look cooler, a little bit cooler than what you get as a finished product. But so I'm not, head over heels in love with it, but I think it's going to do the job, and I think it looks pretty good on my little prototype. So rumor is that Epic is working on both a flapping style craw as well as a super realistic craw. Now, I don't know what that looks like. I know it's been requested of them multiple times. I will certainly be in line to pick up said craws when and if they pop out, because as far as soft plastic molds go, I don't know that Jason and Amanda can be beat. I mean, the Epic stuff is next level. So, all right, that is everything. Let me switch the camera. Actually, you know what? Let's watch this video where I make the dubbing brush, because then we're going to dubbing brush in the build. So I think it was this guy here. Yeah. So I'll walk you through this. So that's my little dubbing brush tool. I got this from J.S. Stockhold, something like that. It's just table size, so it's not made to make a big one, foot long, 18 inches long, or anything like that. It's really enough to make for one jig, maybe two, depending on how many wraps you want to put on it. So I'm using medium 0.006 stainless steel wire. We're going to use some Red Fox, slightly lighter color. I'm going to put in, let me pause that there for just a second. That's the beauty of a dubbing brush, like a wire brush. You can make a dubbing loop. You can make a jig with a dubbing loop, but it's tough to get all the intricacies in there. So I like to use these brushes because you can build it as thick or as thin, and everything stays in one place, and then you can really customize the layers and the flash if you want it, all of that good stuff. So we're going to put some black, I think it was bloody something, I don't know, my wife got it for me for Christmas. Isn't that nice? Bloody. But she knows me, it's good. You're going to need some scissors to cut the fur off with, in my case. This is a Stanfo dubbing brush. It's got a comb on one end and some Velcro. That's a larger size brush once it's done. And then some angle cutters as well to cut the wire. So I'm going to put it on the one side. Hopefully this isn't getting glitchy on you guys. It's a little glitchy for me. But wrap it up and then clip off just the tag end. And then we want to stretch that all the way across. And the left side of this thing is a little knob. So you want to unscrew that. It's got a little grip deal behind it. So as you screw that back in, it grabs a hold of the wire. So now we got our wire across. From there, we want to pull that pin out and put it through to hold that taut, right? Now, this is a neat little table because you can slide that unit up and down. So if you have taller hair, you can slide it way down and make wider brushes. If you've got shorter hair, you can push it up, but it gives a platform for the hair to sit on as you make it. So I'm gonna cut little bits off. It's got some pretty thick underfur, so get rid of the underfur and then place it right on that shelf, right? Sped this up for you. And you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. I wanted somewhat of a thick one, so I made sure that it was pretty well covered. Take your time, it's not going anywhere. So then I got the crystal flash out, put that in. What I was doing here, why I use black, I was looking for a dark core with some flash that would come out of that. So that space right there is right where the wire is going to go across. You also need some dubbing wax. We're going to put the dubbing wax on the steel wire as it comes across, and that just helps to grab a hold of that of the hair. Okay, so stretch it across, and then put your wax on. Yeah, save the underfur for dubbing later. Good call, Gary. That's a really good idea. And then push that thing down. And put the, well, it's really glitching. Sorry, guys. But you push that thing down, and you put that wire right through the right-hand side. And from there, you just start winding it up, right? This is supposed to be a lot faster than that. Clip it, see if it picks up here. There we go. Pull it back so it makes a nice little dubbing brush. Wind it. Then about halfway through, well, you want to pull this pin out and start using your thumb to gauge the tension. The more you spin that up, the tighter the tension is going to be. And if you don't release that and allow for that tension for your finger to kind of move up and hold tension, you'll actually snap the wire. You'll break the wire. So I'm about halfway through here, 3/4 of the way through. I'm using the Velcro side of that stand bow and going through and just fluffing it up. And you want to take the left-hand side where my thumb is, and you want that where it's connected to almost be vertical. It's not quite vertical, but you want it to almost be vertical. Snap it loose, or cut it loose rather, and then fluff it up. Go bango, cut it loose. And then the last thing I do, you could leave it just like that if you want. It's kind of a circular brush at that point, and think of it as a natural chenille. But I knew I was going to be wrapping this, so I'm pulling the fibers to the left and to the right to flatten it out. If you guys have seen any of Gunnar Bramer's stuff lately, he made some dubbing brushes, and after he would do that, or he's done it in the past anyway, he would flatten it out so that when he puts it on his fly, he can fold it over very easily. So that's what he's doing here, or that's what I'm doing. So that's pretty much it. Get it all nice and flat. We'll see the finished product. There, see how flat it is? So now we can put that on our jig and fold it over. All right, that is that. Back there. Switch over. I'll give you guys the option. So add my. So you guys like this one? We'll call that one vertical, or that one is horizontal. Drop it in the comments which one you like better. Vertical is a little closer, so I'm assuming we'll go vertical. There's vertical again. I know I'm on like a 8-second, 10-second delay with you guys. We're gonna go with this one for now. You guys tell me if it's the wrong call. All right. So black 210 denier flat wax nylon. First thing we're going to do is start this guy out and put our wire weed guard or wire keeper, like the closer vertical. All right, cool. Going to put our wire bait keeper down. So the soft plastic's going to butt up right against the collar. I'm actually going to put this wire keeper down here, just to give me a little bit more space and grab into more meat. I always like to go in front and behind it, so it kind of locks it right in place. And you got to watch the edge, because that edge is sharp and it will cut even 210 denier. Put a couple of whip finishes in right here, just to lock that in. And some loon hardhead is not a bad idea, just to kind of lock it in place. All right. You can cut the thread if you want. I'm just going to move it forward. Hopefully I don't break the thread. Yep, there we go. And up onto the collar, I'm going to go ahead and put a base down just so they have something to grab. This is going to fall off the edge there if I'm not careful. So I do want this, you could put, we're going to start with a dubbing brush. You could put the dubbing brush here if you want, right before the collar. I'm actually going to, yeah, let's do that. I was going to put it on the collar itself, but I want a little bit more of this dubbing brush than I had before. So I've got the end right here, right? This had longer wire on it, so I snipped the wire, grab an end, lock it in place, and then from here, so you got to start thinking proportions, right? I know we're going to want to put some extra stuff up in the front, so need to leave space. Yeah, I got about, what is that? 1/4 of an inch, a little less, 1/8 of an inch. Let's get it straight. There we go. So I'm going to put a half hitch right here. Just like that. Bring the cradle around. Now from here, this is it's flattened out, right? So I want to pull this my way. I can wet my fingers, pull that this way so I get a nice clean edge. I'm going to use the rotary. Don't have to, but it does make life a little bit easier. I'm just going to wrap this guy up, keeping the fur as best as we can back. Nice and tight wraps here, right? Twist that. Getting just about there. Yeah. That looks pretty good. There. All right. I like that. Let's drop this down. If I don't hit you guys, I'm going to. Space is limited. So we'll trap it over. 2. Pull up and down to really seat that. 2 more in front. 3. And that is locked in. So take our angle. Do not use your good scissors for this. Either get your cutters or use an old crappy pair of scissors that you've replaced. So, and don't throw the rest of that away. I'm sure you can use it for something else. So pull that back and just kind of lock that all in place. I don't mind the scragglies, right? This is a natural looking jig, natural fiber jig, so some scragglies are okay. All right, so from there, oh, does it? You can see the, oh yeah, you can see the pale ale from a little bit further away. It looks better. So from there, we are going with some of this beautiful stuff. Man, it's so pretty. It's got this amber, light tan, dark brown, white. I mean, it's legit. So I'm going to grab a clump. We're going to do a clump on top. We're going to do a clump on the bottom. On the sides, I'm going to leave that blank, and we're going to put in our silicone there, and then we're going to cover all of that up with our finished product. So I don't necessarily need this to go all the way around. Yeah, look at the underfur. A lot of underfur, and you can even see this darker stuff is a little thinner than this stuff on the bottom. It's really thick, so we definitely don't want to overkill on the underfur. So let me grab a clump. This is the stuff that you guys never see because I got this crap already cut ahead of time, sitting here waiting for me to put it on the jig when I do a video. But clean out some of that. So thereabouts. I'm not being bashful. I want some hair on this thing. So I know Kuda, you probably wouldn't approve, right? Too much material, Adam. You gotta go easy, dude. Chill out, man. Too much. All right. So put that right on there. See, it goes to just about the hook point. That looks good. Actually, let me show you something. See how the thread naturally went back? If it, let me see if I can spin it the other way. Yeah. See, as I come up, it's coming away from the material now. It's coming over here. See, you can see it in my thumb. It's coming over here. So I want to spin that thread. I want to spin it. What would that be? I'm spinning it clockwise? No, counterclockwise. So I'm spinning it towards my vise, right? And as I do that, it wants to lay backwards against my fingers here, right? So I can use that to catch the material. I can never remember if it's clockwise or counterclockwise. So before we lock that down, I do want to spread it just enough. There we go. All right. Around the back, same thing. Counter, there you go. Kuda knows. Counterclockwise. And it pushes that thread back towards your fingers so you can cap or grab the material. All right, another clump on the bottom. It looks like a lot, but it really thins out when you cut the when you cut that underfur off. I mean, it really gets pretty thin. So put that right there. Cinch that in a couple of turns. Yeah, I actually kind of like the longer hair here, and you can kind of see some of that short hair underneath. Gives it some depth. But again, my main reason for doing that, normally I would take it all the way around for various other reasons, but main reason I did that was because I knew we were going to be putting in some silicone. So back to our silicone now, right? This guy here. So I've got a piece cut 6 strands. I'm going to leave these tab ends, these tags on, but I want to cut just a bit of it. So I'm going to cut about half of that tab just so it's a little shorter on both ends. So if I can help it, it stays together, but I don't have as much to deal with. There we go. Just want to turn this so you guys can see that. All right, this is going to be a little, I want to be sideways, so I'm going to have to look at this sideways and then I'll show you. So I'm going to lay that, not putting it on in a traditional way here, right in the middle, and then I let it drape over. You could absolutely do that, but I wanted a different look. So tie that in. All right, see that? So I've just got that. That's why I cut the tab, right? I didn't want that tab to be way up here on the head, and then I have to go in and cut it out. So flip it over, bring it around. You could also cut this in half if you wanted to, and just do it in 2 separate pieces. Trap that right there. There we go. So that'll be kind of our, call them legs, call them whatever you want to. But that'll be our extra silicone, little extra pop, that foil, the purple foil, right? Those of you who love purple. The purple foil, I think, is a nice little addition. All right, so from here, you could totally finish it. I could whip finish this right here, like a nice black collar. The black would totally work with the head color. It would definitely fish all day long, right? But if you've been around the channel for any amount of time whatsoever, you know that I like to cover up my threads. So we're going to do a dubbing loop. So, and then take this forward, come back around. All right, so I got my dubbing loop, right? I pulled it out, put my finger in, wrapped it around. So I've got a sealed off dubbing loop. Again, Gunnar Bramer just did a video on this. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. He's a way better teacher than I am. Get some wax. I'm going to put some wax inside the loop. That'll help hold on to our material. From there, got a dubbing loop tool. And now we're going to go to the natural fur stuff, right? And I'm going to go to the coyote. So grab little bits of this. So you can see it's not much at all. Open that loop up and just stuff that coyote right into this loop. And as you stuff it, you can put your middle finger in the loop, right? Middle finger goes in the loop. Let me see here. There we go. And then use your other two. I can pinch it now with my thumb and my forefinger, with that middle finger keeping the loop open. So when I want to put some more in, I'll kind of loosen up, slide it up in there. This coyote, it's got some nice guard hairs in it, and as well as some traditional, more fluffy dubbing. So break that up. There we go. Now it's in there, so and the wax is going to help hold it, right? So now I can kind of manipulate it, move it around, make sure that it's well distributed. There, get my finger out and start spinning it up. I could hold it here, spin, 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 and then let it go, right? I'm pulling back with tension. See the hook moving? That's something I picked up in the recent series by Gunner. I'm such a fanboy. I know, whatever. But he talked about making dubbing loops and doing it well by holding tension so that the hook actually moves, right? So holding tension back as you spin locks that that dubbing loop down. All right. Let's get my little tool out here. This is that, again, that Stanfo deal with the Velcro. And just kind of lightly pick at it just to get it nice and buggy. There we go. Beautiful. Rough that up. Bambo. All right. So from here, I'm going to go back to the rotary, and we want that with no gap, right? So I want it to start right back against the material. Bring it right up to seal it all down. It's pretty good. Same deal. Over the top, trap it twice, pull up with one and down with the other to really cinch it down, and then two to lock it. Cut the loop off. Pull that back. And I'm putting some serious pressure now just to kind of lock that in place. Hold on. Anal. We're going to have to live with it. Actually, we can probably save that. Let's probably fix that here in a second. But from there, let's whip finish. There we go. Should have made the dubbing loop longer. That's what I could have used more material right there. Should have used a longer dubbing loop to give me a little bit more material and really fluff it up. Because I'm going to go back to the Stanfo here and now use that to pick it out. And this just kind of blends that coyote into the rest of the material. Right there. Bugs me that I can see the thread. Part of the reason I like to do this is so I don't see the thread, but like I said, if I see a little bit, it's a good color, and it's actually disappearing pretty decent. There we go. Beautiful. So from there, I'm just going to cut these guys loose. Let's go ahead and use some more of the loon. I'm going to get a bodkin and dip it into the bodkin in, and just kind of go all the way around, just like that. There we go. This stuff is so good that you could just paint it on if you wanted to, right? You wouldn't have to do this. Water-based, it's not going to hurt the hair, but I just like to get the precision in there. So that's it. That will dry and lock our threads in. From there, one thing we got left to do is add this guy. So let me see if I can do this here. Real buggy, right? Super finesse, super buggy looking. If you wanted to go in and trim some of this stuff, some of you are probably like, no, don't trim it. Heck, That's the point. Can't help myself. But that's our deal, right? When it gets wet, and then you hang dry this guy, the silhouette of this guy would kind of hang down as well, would be less out like that. Not that that's a bad thing, especially when it's bouncing along the bottom. So from there, like I said, we want to put this guy in, but in my opinion, this is just a bit too long, right? Ooh, here we go. Yeah, it's a bit too long. So I'm going to take, I don't know, 2/3 of the body off. So like that. And thread this guy on. See how far down our keeper is, right? So thread him on here and have a finished product. I was hoping that Reed Ball would come down here and make a cameo appearance, but I hear him running around upstairs, but I don't know if he's going to come down and join us. Maybe on a future. Get a cameo 100% Reed Ball. Up and over our keeper. There we are. Bring that coyote back down. And there you are, gents. Oh yeah, that's gonna get bit. That's gonna get bit. So let me go full screen here. Definitely, what would I do different, right? I don't know about you guys, but anytime you make something, anytime I make something, I always kind of analyze it and think, what would I do different? What could I do better, right? I think the dubbing brush worked out really nice. I think the red fox worked out really nice. I think my only, and I love the purple, that little purple sheen. See that? When that's in the water, bouncing around, and the light hits just that little bit, yeah, it's gonna be good. But I definitely would have made the dubbing loop at the top a little bit longer and had a little bit more material there. Just so, not so that it would be bushy at the top, but so that I could take this guy, right, and really brush that down and make the transition from the head to the rest of the body a lot smoother and a lot more. I just think there's a gap there. So sort of like this one, right? See how much smoother, oopsie, how much smoother that transition is from the head to the material. That's what I was going for. And I think I got in a hurry because I'm live. But what are you going to do? Either way, it's going to catch some fish and it's going to get bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a ton of fun for me. Thanks for the kind words, everybody. Glad you enjoyed the build, and looking forward to doing a lot more of these. So I've kept you for an hour and 8 minutes running here. Thank you for joining me. And next week we'll be back into the edited version of SDG. I've got something that we've never built here on the channel before, and if I can do it, it's going to be one of those top to bottom, right? It's going to be building it from scratch, including the soft plastics. So hopefully I can pull it off. No promises, but that is the plan. And otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me, and I will see you at the Vice the next time.